All right, gang, let's dive right into it. Welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday, tips to help grow your online community. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we're lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories. Dave, thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Hey everybody, glad to be back with you for another webinar. I believe this is 98, so every other week we're getting closer to that big number 100.
Stop the madness. Amazing. Looking forward to that episode 100 coming up, I guess, 2 more webinars from now. I think that's going to be October 14th. We'll be doing something special on that webinar. We just don't know what it is yet, so be sure to tune in on October 14th, and hopefully we'll have something fun for the community here on that webinar. I always like to mention, if you're not already part of our free Facebook group, you can always head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. Click that blue join button. All are welcome, and there's great conversations there. Great place to keep up to date with the community in between Webinar Wednesdays, and also a great place to get help and constructive criticism from the community of fellow membership website owners building their websites together. So head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, and we look forward to seeing you there. And I always like to mention, especially since we're coming up to episode 100, why we created Webinar Wednesday. At Brilliant Directories, we're very agile in our development process, and there are always new features being built. Some are priorities, some have been on the list for a while, and we're finally getting around to them. But we really use it as a platform to showcase some of the new features that you can leverage to grow your online community. And specifically, the types of features we'd like to talk about are ones that can help you increase your traffic or improve your SEO by keeping visitors on the site longer, tips to help convert visitors into free or paying members depending on what your model is. And one of my favorites is how to help improve your website's flow and navigation. I think that's a big pillar to a successful online community, is giving your visitors a clear call to action. So if you have questions on any of these topics or related to your website and how to improve it, please save them. We'll try to get to as many as we can in just a little bit further down in the webinar. All right, we do have a helpful tip of the week today, but before that, just wanted to dive into just a few of the BD Lab updates, some new features that have already been pushed, and some items that are coming down the line very soon. The new features and updates, among some security and stability updates, there are some that I'd like to show you today. And most of these were actually recommendations in previous Webinar Wednesdays. So your feedback really does help us improve the software for the entire community. So I'll just go through this list pretty quickly here. The first one is now the ability to add a full width to some of the buttons that you have in the text editor, the button links that you can create. And I can show you a quick example of what I'm referring to here. So I'll go to Edit Web Pages, and I'll just start a new web page here. I'll just give it a URL. I'll call it a content URL, and simple title, full width, links. Instead of just doing everything from scratch, I'll use the new draggable content blocks. We'll just use this one here, text with image right. So up until now, as you might recall, when you add links, we added the ability to actually turn links into buttons, and the button colors would match the color settings you have in your design settings. So just to give you an overview here, under style here, you can choose the color of and size of the button. You can choose from normal sized or larger sized. And I'll just do large danger just to change it here. And up until now, this would be it, and it's great. You can add a button. Let's save the changes and look at what it looks like. All right, and we'll click on View Page. Okay, great. So there's an image, there's a title, and here is the link. So with this new setting, it allows you to make the link fill the full width of the available space or element that it's inside of. Let me show you where you can do that now. You just click on the link where you get the different settings to kind of edit the link, choose the class or the style of the button. Here you can toggle full width. So I'll just click that, and we can see very simply it makes it fill the entire width of the section. And again, this is just subjective aesthetics of what you're looking to do with your site, but it's pretty common that you may want a full width button there. And so now we can see definitely makes the button more noticeable on the page, so you can create a really solid call to action. Prior to that, we were recommending, putting spaces in front and behind the text, but that doesn't really accomplish something like this. Let's just look at one more example of what this could look like. Let's use the 3-column feature list here. We'll put it up here, and we'll save the changes first without this, and then what it looks like with the buttons full width. So here we can see there's a list of 3 items here, and they have green links, and we'll just make those full width. Just click on this advanced settings, toggle width, and just a spoiler alert. So as you can see here, we have an advanced settings toggle. We're starting with the full width, and we may have additional settings here to kind of decorate your buttons with, but for now we're just having this one option here to toggle full width links. And I'll go ahead and save the changes. There we go. So this is really cool. Just depending on the aesthetic you're looking for, you can totally change the layout and look and feel of your page with these full width buttons. So that's available to you now. Okay, this is another one that was requested, I think, last webinar or 2 webinars ago. So this is an example of something that we were able to push out pretty quick for the community. So we have the new add-on for the global website search, and it allows you to search all the content, the post and member content on your site with a single keyword input field. Right after we released it, we got a lot of requests to create an option where you can search keyword and location. So you could search golf in Los Angeles and you would find all the members that match that and all the coupons and all the events. So now with the keyword plus location search modules, working with the global website search, you can search those 2 types of criteria. And most post types, not all post types, but most post types may have a location option with them, such as events or coupons, such as where they could be used. But things like blog articles, they're just articles. They don't necessarily have a location pinned with them. So in those cases, it wouldn't be applicable. But let me show you where you can select these now if you have the global website search add-on. Let's start back here in the dashboard. So 2 of the settings are in your design settings. The first one is in the header section. If you want to have in the top right, kind of where your mini links are in the top right of your header, under the header design, show header search, and the 2 last options here are the global website search and global website search with the location field there. So you'll have 2 input fields. So this is the first place you can apply it. The second is in your homepage layout. If you want this to be your main homepage search module at the top of the page, you can certainly do that. It's going to be in the homepage layout tab and inside of the homepage search settings module here. I'll toggle this open. And then under the search type to use, if you're going to have a search type. Right now, if you scroll all the way to the bottom here, you'll have those 2 same options similar to the header search. It's global website search and global website search plus location. So I'll just go ahead and select that. So those are 2 places in the design settings. And if you save your changes, they'll be there on the site. However, and let me just go to the home page real quick. And let me just do a search now. So this would be a global search here, these 2 input fields. So the third place is in your sidebar manager. And let me show you where you can edit that and choose that. Because by default, the global website search results page will just have the keyword input field for the sidebar, but you can certainly now toggle the location field with that. So for that, we want to go to our toolbox and go to our sidebar manager. And if you have the add-on in your default sidebars that are available, you'll have the global website search sidebar, so you can start adding banner ads to it or whatever items you want. If you haven't already done so, you can certainly go ahead and customize this. Just go to Actions and Customize. I've already gone ahead and customized the global website search sidebar, so I can add whatever items I want in there. And if you want the global website search plus location, just search under available widgets. You could search global website search and look for the one, not the homepage search, look for the module one and just drag it here in the sidebar. It's already there. And then you could delete the one that's just for the keyword. And I'll go ahead and delete this duplicate as well. And I'll save the changes. And we'll refresh the page. And we should have just one search module here, but it does support the keyword plus location search there. And it'll search all the content types for each one of these respected fields. Okay, this one is in the admin area, the next one here, filters in the search members page with regards to the admin area. So sometimes, there are a lot of settings, filters, excuse me, that you can search members for. So now if you're searching, name Jason, membership plan featured, top level category, automotive, I don't think we're getting any results for this, account status on hold, transaction types, they have past due transactions. You do a search. Right here underneath here, it'll show you, because obviously you can see in the filter boxes what you're looking for, but you can clearly see what your search criteria is here. And if you hover over this, we can see at the top there, my name is blue up here. So when you hover it, it kind of lets you know what the corresponding search filter field is for that. And then if you'd like to add or remove, you can certainly X this and then do another search. But just a quality of life thing here, just to give you a little bit more context as to what your current search has been for your search members. Okay, and this one has been highly requested for quite some time, since actually the beginning of Brilliant Directories, and now it is available, the ability to format the default member profile page URL. So when your members sign up to your site and they save their contact details information, their member profile page URL is automatically created by the system, and it uses their country, their state, their top level category, their first and last name, or their company name, depending on if they've selected individual or company. Up until now, you've been locked into that unless you manually customize one by one the member profile URL. So this adds just a little bit more flexibility and control as to how the default member profile URLs are generated. And let me just show you what I'm referring to here. Let's just clear these searches here. And let's take this sample member as an example. Let's log in as this member. And also let's look at their public listing. So we can see here the URL is United States, Raytown, Home Services, Safeguard, Alarms. Let me show you now where you can change the default format. So as new members join or new members save their contact details, it will respect the formatting rules that you've decided for the information that's listed in their profile page URL. So for this, you want to go to your settings and go to advanced settings. And probably the easiest thing to do is use the search filter here and search for profile underscore, I believe, URL. Okay, that's it. And we can see here the URL order. This is the one that's being used, and then the available URL elements. So let's say we wanted to get rid of the country name. If your website is serving the United Kingdom, perhaps you don't need to mention that. Maybe you didn't want the city name. Maybe you just wanted the top level category and the member name. And perhaps you wanted the member name first. Member name is something that always needs to be there, so there is no X icon here. And then when you remove items, you can certainly add them back if you want to by clicking on the plus button. But let's save the changes here and then resave this member's contact details information and compare the before and after of their URL. So I'll go to basic information here. Okay, I'll just do, all right, and it's all sample information. All right, let's save the changes. Okay, great. Now let's look at the profile page. Okay, great. So we can see here my new URL for my profile page. It's using the company name here, Safeguard Alarms, and then my top level category, which is Home Services. So it's not this United States Raytown Home Services Safeguard Alarms, believe if I refresh this page, the 301 redirect from the old URL to the new one has already been created as well in the system. So you never lose any link juice simply when members update their information. Maybe they misspelled their company name wrong. So all this happens on the fly, and the system does everything for you. So now, depending on some of your goals, maybe you like the default way that the member profile URLs are. It's good for SEO. But if you want to modify things, you can certainly do that and create slightly shorter member profile URLs with this new setting here. So again, go to advanced settings and search for profile underscore URL there. All right, so now some items that are coming soon. I'll actually start with the back of the list, that edit member profile URL format. That's the one that we just launched. So actually that shouldn't be on the coming soon list there, but promises are delivered. So that is a new feature that's live. The ability to select your smart list when scheduling your newsletters is just on the cusp of being released. So that will provide a little bit more flexibility with targeting specific and segmented members with your newsletters. We released draggable content blocks for the text editor for web pages. It's coming down the line for email soon. Ability to select different types of font families in the text editor, that's also coming down the line. And we have two new add-ons. One of them I want to demo for you today, the post commenting add-on, but just before that, the include images with reviews add-on is coming down the line soon. So that'll be really cool when visitors are leaving reviews of the members or the businesses. Maybe it's a restaurant. They can actually snap or upload photos with their review. Creates more like a Yelp-like experience when users are doing that. One that's coming, it's about probably 2 to 4 weeks away, just not to overpromise, but the post commenting add-on, I want to show you a quick demo of where we're at in the development process for that. What's really cool about that is not only can you leave comments under posts, like under a blog article or things like that, it really opens up the ability to create a community forum type of environment where members can create a topic and other members can respond to that topic with their comments and replies to comments, et cetera, et cetera. So let me kind of show you the front end of what it's going to look like. Let's see here. This is just a sample test site that we're working on. And if you're logged in as a member and you're viewing a post, in this case, we've enabled it for blog articles. You'll have a title here, you'll have comment counts, and I'm logged in as this sample member. I can post a comment. So let's just do that. I love what I'm reading here. And send it. Okay. Comment is posted, simple enough. What's really cool in this stage, we will be allowing for users to reply to specific comments. So I can write a reply to my own reply. And one more thing, you rock. And I'll send that. So it's really straightforward. It's really simple. If we refresh the page here, the comments counts will start showing up. So we can see there's 2 comments and 2 comments. You'll be able to control what this title is. And then things like send and post a new comment that you're seeing in here, those will all be text labels that you can edit. And this is what it looks like on the front end. So we could really easily see how this could turn into a nice little mini forum for you. You can create your different categories for the post type, and then people can start discussions within them. Let me take you guys on a tour on the back end of kind of the direction we're headed in with managing the comments from the back end area and some of the available settings. So what we did is we tried to emulate a little bit of how the member reviews page already looks. If we go here to member reviews. So this is what everyone currently has for their reviews. So we try to emulate this and apply some of the design elements here for managing comments. So I'll just run you through some of the quick settings here. We can see who posted the comment here on the left. And for now, there will be actions to delete the comment. There'll be more coming soon. We can see the comment here on the right. It says what's happening. If it was a reply to a comment, you'll see that it says in response to, and this will actually link you to the public comment on the front end. So we can click here and it'll take us here to that entire thread so we can see what's going on there if we need to moderate things, or we want to see as the website owner what the context of that comment was. Of course, a link to the post that the comment was created on, so sample blog article 1. And then if you wanted to, you could click on this button and it will just filter all the comments just for this sample blog article 1. So if a post has hundreds of comments, or your site has hundreds of comments, and you want to just see the activity of one specific post, you can click on that link and you'll just see the comments for that. And then you can go back to all your comments up here by clicking this red button. Let me show you some of the settings that will be available in this release, where there'll be some comment settings. Again, keeping it really simple, you can choose a default title for the comments section. So leave a comment below, or let us know what you think. Whatever you want to write there, that'll be the default title for before the comment section starts. You can choose if you want to display the comment counts or not on the post page. And then there are some moderation settings. So you can choose to moderate comments before they're published. If you choose no, then there's no moderation. What's really cool is if you choose yes, you can actually choose which membership levels whose comments require moderation. So maybe your lower tiered members, you're going to moderate their comments. They don't get the privilege or the status of having their comments published immediately when they submit them. Or you can choose how you want this logic and workflow to work. And then you can choose which post types the comments tool will render on, will automatically display under the post itself. So you can choose enable for all post types. You could choose yes, or you can say no. And what's really cool is you can then click which post types you want comments to be enabled on. So maybe photo albums and events, you want comments, but you don't want it for job listings or whatever else, or your website blog articles. So this will give you just enough control when you're getting started with this add-on in its first release to have some moderation settings, decide where the comments go, and it will just require that the members register or log in to begin using the comments on your site. And then what's really cool is before this, we'd always recommend, and there's still good tools, recommending third-party tools such as Discuss or even Facebook comments to use their embed code to leave comments under posts. And those are certainly good, still good options, but it did require the user to also log into those third-party platforms in order to leave a comment. So in this case, everything is native and housed all on your site. It should encourage more general user registrations or free signups or whatever your model is for encouraging people to leave comments under posts. So we're really excited for this, and we're really excited of how this is going to unlock a community forum environment for sites, which has also been a highly requested feature with BD. So hopefully this will be released in the next 2 to 4 weeks, and we'll keep you posted in the Facebook group on that. All right. I know I shared a mouthful there, guys. I always like to take a few questions about some of these updates or something you've seen here in the BD Lab updates. So feel free to raise your hand and I'll take a question or two. All right. A good friend, Ryan here.
Yeah, I got it. Hey, Jason, how you doing?
Good, good. How you doing?
Good. I guess it's going to be an add-on. So it sounds like it's an all or nothing. If you turn it on, it kind of replaces the existing comment section, I guess. Is it possible, or just think about in your development process there to be able to choose in the post settings which version you're going to use for that particular post type? Because we've done a lot of customizations for the Facebook comments for a lot of people, and so maybe they still want to use those for some post types, but maybe for the articles they want to turn yours on, vice the other ones. I don't know if it would be doable to have it by a post type selection. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. So in that case, what you would do is under your comment settings, and let me just open it up here. You can just choose not to have comments on the ones that you're using your custom code, and you can just continue using that box there. And for the ones you
okay, so that'll still be in the post settings where
yeah,
you can add the custom code for the ones that aren't checked. Okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah, it's in short, yeah. But what's really cool about that input box is you don't necessarily need to put like comment code, you can put anything you want that's basically will show at the end of the post page. So it's really an open field for anything that you'd want, not just comments, but we put comments there because that's the most common thing it was used for.
Okay, no, that's valid. I just want to make sure so that's a separate, I guess, section. You can basically use both then. You could still use that for something else and turn on the comments for this one and still have both of them in there.
Absolutely. You could use both. And the comment section that you're referring to will load after this. So what you have is really like the footer of the page with the post page under the post. So it will probably
be good to know.
So you can have like related posts there or something after the comments, something like that, if you wanted to.
Okay.
All right, good question there by Ryan. And all right, no more hands up. It's a lot to digest, so we'll keep things rolling here. And David, you talk to a lot of people who are in the Facebook group, and some people sometimes are on free trials. They have some questions about the functionality, and claim listings comes up. The Claimable business listings add-on comes up. So we wanted to take the time this week to cover some best practices and use cases of where the Claimable business listings would work best and how you can best take advantage of this tool. So I'll pass it over to you, Dave, if that's okay.
Thanks, Jason. So we've covered and we've discussed claimable business listings quite a bit in previous webinars, but we've kind of discussed the various aspects of claimable listings without really giving a good overview of how claimable listings work, why you might want to utilize this add-on on your website, how it could help get the ball rolling if you're starting a brand new website from scratch, and then also how it works from the website owner's perspective, the admin area, and then also how it would work from, in this case, a business owner whose business is listed on your website, but they need to claim that listing so that they can update information on their profile and things like that. So if we get right on into it, what are claimable listings? Figured this is a pretty good area to start for this topic. So essentially a claimable listing is a business listing, a professional's listing, a profile on your directory website that doesn't have an owner or a member associated with it. It's a listing that you either imported through a CSV file or one that you manually created in the admin area, but you don't have that actual business owner associated with the listing. And so the status of these members, these listings, are set as claim listings. And so what that does is it puts a link and a little banner notice on these profile pages that says, are you the owner of this business? Click here to claim this listing. And so when the owner of that business, for example, goes to that profile page and they say, hey, this is my business. I want to take control of this listing. I want to update the information on it. They can click that claim listing button, and then they can select one of your membership plans that you're offering. They can create their account, and then they can take control of that listing and use it as they would have if they just signed up normally through your site.
Yeah, I think it's pretty common. We've seen them around sites. Maybe we found your own business on a review site, claim this listing to respond to reviews and things like that. And I think Yelp is one of the bigger companies, or they set the standard for claiming business listings here.
Exactly. So that's why we figured it would be good to include an example from Yelp in this presentation here, just because Yelp is the biggest kind of business directory online. It's one that most, if not all of us use, and we're familiar with it. So just here you can see even Yelp has both claimed and unclaimed business listings. So this one on the left, Barrel and Ashes, you can see it says unclaimed, which means somehow it was added to Yelp. The business owner didn't do it themselves. So either Yelp scraped that information and put it on themselves, or somehow it got added to their website. And so if the owner of this restaurant, Barrel and Ashes, came across the listing on Yelp, they could click claim this business, they can make an account, and then they can take ownership of that listing, update their information, their hours, add images, reply to the reviews that have been left on their listing, everything like that. And then over on the right, you can see this restaurant, Bottlefish. It does say that it has been claimed. So either the owner of the business actually made the listing themselves on Yelp, or Yelp already had the listing there and the owner saw their listing and they claimed it, and they've updated their hours. They've probably replied to the hundreds of reviews they have, etc. So that's just kind of a brief explanation of how it works, and how it works even on a website as common and popular as Yelp.
And keep in mind, look how they incentivize the business to claim the listing. They're basically telling you what you're missing out on. You're missing out on business statistics, receiving messages from prospective customers, and responding to reviews, and other things that are beneficial to people, to businesses that are officially registered on the site. So, just saying, "Is this your business? Claim it now." That works a little bit, but sometimes businesses need a little bit of an extra push, and that can either be done on the actual message on the profile page, or when they click on the link, claim this business, have a little bit more information about the benefits of why they should claim their business. So I just want to mention that there.
That's a great point. And on the next slide, you'll see by default, this has kind of been put into place with the default messaging on a Brilliant Directories site if you are utilizing claimable listings. You can see here this little banner at the bottom of the top section of this profile. It says, "Are you John Smith? Claim this listing to receive referrals from this page." So okay, if I'm John Smith, there's a benefit to me claiming this listing. I might be able to get more business because I'll actually be able to be notified of referrals or potential customers or clients or things like that. And so going into the benefits of claimable listings, there's some pretty obvious ones. The biggest benefit and the most obvious one would be that if you do import a list of businesses or professionals, you will obviously increase the volume of listings on your website. And so that can improve your website's credibility. Just if somebody's coming to your website from a Google search and they're browsing it, and they see that you have a lot of search results that they're being presented with, that gives your site a lot more credibility than if they were only presented with maybe one or two relevant results on your site. It also encourages other businesses to register, because if they see that there's a lot of businesses listed on your site, whether they're claimed or unclaimed, that could give them the idea to register on your website, or if they already have a listing on your site, to claim that listing so that they can update the information there, add new information, add images, add content, add posts to try to become more relevant on your site and hopefully get some more business that way. Another benefit, it kind of overlooked sometimes, but it actually simplifies the sign-up process for the businesses that are already listed, because half the work has already been done for them. The basic information, the business name, location, maybe the hours, category, all of that has probably already been imported if you have all that information. So when the business owner comes to their listing and they see all that, all they have to do is select a membership plan to actually create an account on your site. And then once they're logged in, they can just fill in whatever information is remaining. So it does simplify and shorten that sign-up process a little bit for the business owners. Another huge benefit is that it does improve your website's SEO value. The more relevant information, the more useful information you have on your website, the more value it will have to search engines. So if you have a business directory and all you have are maybe a dozen businesses, there's other websites that would probably have more listings than you might, and so they might be seen as more valuable to a search engine. But if you can have a lot more listings on your site with useful information like their hours of operation, their locations, their phone number, reviews even, things like that, then that would tremendously increase your website's SEO value. And then the other thing is that it can also act kind of as a marketing avenue for you. Because if you do have some of that relevant information for these listings that you've added, then if a business is searching for themselves on Google, which they commonly do to find out where people are leaving reviews for them, if there's any issues that like bad reviews that they might need a reply to, they might come across their listing on your website just by doing a quick Google search of themselves. And so that might prompt them to sign up on your site when maybe they wouldn't never have even known about your site if it wasn't for that listing that you already added to it.
And I also want to touch on the second to last point here: improves your website's SEO value. It is certainly true that it can, but it can also be a double-edged sword. just some things that Google frowns upon or won't necessarily rank your pages for. If Google sees a lot of what's called thin pages or duplicate content pages, not necessarily just on duplicate content on your site, but the exact same information is listed on another website that's been online longer than yours, Google won't necessarily rank those pages in their search results because they just see it as redundant. It won't necessarily hurt you. They just won't index those pages. However, they may index some of the pages of the members' profiles you've imported. And also where the website's SEO value can be improved is Google does look at the visitor's bounce rate. That means how soon do they come to your site and then leave. And the more pages, the more time they're spending on your site and the more pages they're clicking around, basically the more relevant content or relatable content that you can serve to your visitors, the longer they will stay on your site. So having those imported member listings that are available to claim in the sense of keeping visitors on your site a bit longer can certainly help with your website's SEO and show Google that your site is relevant to visitors who are searching for information. So that's the key SEO benefit there, is it can help keep visitors on your site. And also those listings that you've imported, yeah, we don't want thin content. Thin content is just a name and a phone number, and it's listed a million times somewhere else on the internet. But if you spent time slowly adding some unique information to those profile pages that adds value, that is different than just what you purchased in the data list or got from somewhere else, that's the basic business information. If you added some unique content like reviews, or if they eventually started receiving reviews from visitors and things like that, that can also help improve the SEO value of your website as a whole. So don't think just because you import 2 million members into your site that Google's going to start ranking 2 million member profiles on your site, because again, they consider that. You can Google it, what is thin or duplicate content, and again, it won't necessarily penalize your site, but that Google just might not choose to show those pages in their search results because there are other resources online that already have similar information. So just a pro tip for you guys there on some of the pros and cons of importing business listings and what you can expect.
That's right. When the first thing they want to do is import listings, typically they're going after the quantity aspect, but oftentimes it may serve you better in both the short and the long term to go after the quality aspect. When you take the time to add in a lot of relevant information to those listings that you might not otherwise have if you were to have just imported the business name, phone number, and address, that could also further encourage the business owners to claim their listings and sign up on your site. If a lot of that unique content is already there. Because like you mentioned, Jason, there's so many websites out there that have that basic information. But if you're providing something extra, something of value to the business owner, then that will further help kind of push them across that finish line and hopefully get them signed up and claim their listing.
Yeah, and actually, based on what you're saying, I'm just going to stay on this for just another moment. Claim listings exclusively. I personally don't believe it should be your sole marketing strategy. It should be part of your marketing strategy is importing, business listings and having that information on your site. What I think works best, especially for a site that's trying to launch quickly and look credible quickly, and look like it's been established for a while. What I think the best thing to do is a hybrid. Go ahead and import your business data, and if you want, make those claimable listings. Also, what we always recommend is add your first 100 members yourself, separately from importing. Add 100 and create really well decorated profiles for 100 people in your industry that you think, or whatever number makes sense, just depends on your industry size, but add some listings manually yourself. Put good quality profile images, decorate the profiles as much as possible, and even set those ones that you set up manually that really have nice, kind of better decorated profiles than the ones you imported to be claim listings. Maybe make them higher membership plans, or so they show higher in the search results when visitors are searching, so they see those better listings first, and then they see the claim listings as well. But the ones you manually created on your site that have really good, well-decorated profiles with nice quality images kind of bubble up to the top. Those are the ones you can showcase on your homepage. So if you have a mix of that going on, with the members you imported to be claim listing, plus people who just from your other marketing efforts start joining your site organically and normally, now you have a good mix of different types of profiles. And again, I would bubble the more well-decorated profiles on the homepage and at the top of the search results pages. But that would be a quick way to establish a site in just like a week or two. Obviously, it takes time to add those manual profiles and to create some kind of a marketing strategy to get organic members to join your site as well. Then the claimable listings look more organic because you have some real profiles in there, some decorated profiles, and some organic profiles from real members who have joined your site when you're first starting out is mainly what I'm referring to here. So some things to keep in mind when you're thinking about your site from a 360-degree angle here.
Going over how you can go about creating these claimable listings. It's actually really simple. It only takes 2 steps. Either you already have a list of your businesses, in which case you can import them into your website, or you could manually add them one by one. And then all you do is you set the status. There's a status setting for all of the members, and some of the statuses are active, inactive, on hold. But one of them, if you have claim listings, is you can set the status to claim listing. And once you do that, that will automatically add that little banner notification onto these profiles to let the business owners know if they come across the listing that it is unclaimed and that they can create an account and take control of the listing and update it.
So you can import your members and then just set the status to be claim listings for the membership plan that you're importing them as.
Exactly, yeah. So in the next slide, we'll talk about how you can actually go about contacting these businesses, let them know that they have listings on your website. So the simplest kind of first thought that most people would have when they're dealing with claim listings is just a generic email campaign. So this is, it can work. It's not really the best way to go about doing it. And you really don't want to send out a mass email in bulk to all of the listings that you're importing. That's a great way to get your email address flagged and looked at as spam, which we definitely want to avoid. So some best practices if you're going to be emailing these imported listings to try to get the business owners to claim their listings, if you have their email addresses, is to one, include the business name and maybe the location in the subject line. Just personalize it a little bit. Make it so it's not really as generic as it potentially could be. You also want to keep the email body concise. You don't want to send somebody who's never heard of you an essay of an email. Keep it concise, and you can link directly to their listing. So they can just click the link and then immediately see that they have a listing on your site. And then also, like I said, you don't want to send this in bulk to everybody. You want to send it to small segments, maybe 15 or 20 listings at a time, depending on how many listings you've imported or you've added manually. But this would be a great way. If you don't want to go the second option here, the personal approach, calling the business owners if you have their phone numbers, if you don't want to go that route, this would be a great way to go about reaching out to those, like Jason mentioned a few minutes ago, those first 100 or so listings that you added manually and you really made sure look nice. You've added all the relevant information. Maybe you've added images. You've made sure to include the business logo and all that sort of information. Those would be the ones that you would really want to reach out to because they're most likely who will actually, you'll get a response from. You know, business owners, they get emails all the time of websites that are just generating reviews. Maybe they're even copying reviews from other sites. And after a while, business owners, they just tend to ignore some of those emails. So if you can personalize it and make it worth their time, let them know that you have that relevant, unique content on their listings already. All they need to do is click a button to claim it and update the information. That would be a great way to go about doing it.
And there's actually a third option here. It's a hybrid of the personal approach, and we actually covered it in a previous webinar. We had a guest on one of our previous webinars, Corey Barnes, and he's really leveraging Facebook groups, and he's targeting businesses, and he's providing, his website is generating consumer leads. So he's established a Facebook group, and he reached out to us because he was so successful so quickly with his Facebook group and using Brilliant Directories in conjunction with that Facebook group. I'm going to share a link to his webinar here in the chat. let's see how long this one is. This is about a 25-minute video where he kind of walks through his whole game plan of how he's using Facebook groups to connect with the businesses, and then how he's bringing them to his Brilliant Directories website where they can then purchase leads, claim their listing, add their listing, and more. So really recommend watching this webinar. I learned a lot from Corey when he was explaining what he was doing, and I think what's best is there's really actionable steps and items in that fireside chat that we had with Corey there. So yeah, definitely worth a look at that.
And so going on to the final slide here, we wanted to just briefly explain how this all works from the actual user's perspective, from the business owner. So when they go to their listing on your website, they click that claim listing button, and that will then direct them to a URL that you've specified. So you can set which page they're directed to. You might want to send them to just a free registration page if you want to get them signed up quickly and immediately. Or you might want to create a dedicated landing page where you have some additional information. You can explain the benefits, and still you might want to have them sign up for free initially, but later on give them the option to upgrade to a paid plan, because again, right now, you're probably starting off with a relatively fresh new site. And so we really just want to get people in the door first. So the business owner, they click that claim listing button. They then either choose the membership plan that they want to create their account under, or you kind of decide that and you send them directly to the registration page. And then the member, the business owner, they go through the normal sign up process, email address, password. And then once they do that, they'll be logged in. They'll have control over the listing. They'll be able to immediately edit all of the information that's associated with the listing, post content if you're allowing them to do that, and all that sort of stuff. So from the user's perspective, from the business owner's perspective, it's a very simple, very quick process.
So yeah, we wanted to kind of see the process in action. So and there's a few available settings that you have for the claim listings, kind of the ones that David just mentioned in the previous slide. So we won't take up too much time with this, but we'll kind of show you some of the basic settings and what you can do to set imported members or members you've added to a claimable listing status, and then how to create the membership plans that are available to them to sign up with if they do want to actually claim the listing. So again, I don't want to take up too much time with this, but we'll use this demo site here that we have as an example. There are some sample members on here. I'll even log out of this account that I'm in. So the first thing to do is let's go to our membership plans in the finance section. Okay, great. So let's say we loaded 10,000 business listings into the site, and then we set them as a basic account. I'm actually going to change this a little bit. So we're going to call the plan name. These are the claimable listing. And again, this is more like an internal name for yourself. Claimable listings membership plan. And these are people you've imported and so on. So they're really, no one's going to sign up to this plan. Actually, if you went to the sign up page, it would tell you that you can't sign up to a membership plan that's the claimable listing designation. So under the pricing tab right now, you can go to account type and set it to claim. And here we'll see claim listing web link. So when you're on the member's profile page and it says claim this listing, you can decide where you want that button to go. So just as a simple example, you can take them to your join page where you probably have several plans for them to choose from, and then they can choose a plan and they'll sign up to that plan, the membership plan that they want to claim the listing with. In my opinion, and I'm just going to fast track here, what I like to do is simplify the process, because really it's hard to get your foot in the door. Someone's already claiming their listing and you want to streamline the process. So something you could probably do is, let's just change this featured one here that's here. You want to direct them immediately to a registration page. So we'll just call this plan called claimed listing, and we'll just make it free for now. And I'll save the changes. So this would be a claimed listing, and let's see what the sign up page looks like. Create account, claim listing, cool. So the URL for this page is checkout 2. Okay, cool. So if we go back to the claimable listing. So this is what's claimable. The claimable web link, I'm going to make it checkout to. This will make more sense in just a minute when we see it on the live site. So we want people who are claiming their listing to be directed when they click the link to claim the listing to checkout to. And I'll save the changes. Okay, great. So now let's go back and look at some claimable listing profiles. I'll just click on here to view all the members who are part of this claim account. And we can look at here, Capital of Texas Zoo. We'll view their profile. Okay, great. So here's the profile, and here's the message that we see. Are you Capital of Texas Zoo? A claim listing. So here's the button, and if I click this button, this is the link that it's going to take me to check. See, it's taking me directly to checkout to. It's saying you are claiming, and then the information of the profile. Claim your listing below for Capital of Texas Zoo, and this is a free sign up in this case, so I can go ahead and just sign up to this account, and I'll create my profile. Okay, great. So it's a free sign up. You can check your email to verify the email address, and I will log into the dashboard. So now I've claimed this profile. Now, another pro tip, you might be thinking, well, if you offer a free option, what's to stop someone from claiming all the profiles that I've uploaded to my site? Well, two things. One is if you're offering a free option, you could put them through a few more hoops. They can certainly claim it for free, but then manually you can ask them to take an action, like to call you from their phone number on file, or you need to call their phone number. If you want to take those extra steps like Yelp does to actually certifiably, verify that it is the business claiming the business, or maybe you don't care. The other thing is you can tell them to claim it for $1. So they have to pay, and it's very fat chance that on some random site, some business is going to go claim all the businesses for $1. So a legitimate business would want to claim it for $1, or you could just direct them to all your membership plans that are available, and they can choose if they want bronze, silver, or gold plan to sign up with and claim their listing. So there are a few different options and models that you can offer during the workflow for the claim listings. But the thing that's the most important is the business can find their profile, click the claim listing button, and then you're in charge of the membership plan options that are available to them in order to claim that listing, whether it's free with moderation, paid, or choosing from multiple membership plans. Let me log out of here, and let's just change the link to the join link instead of directly to the checkout page. So we'll just change this back to the join page, or whatever web page that you want that also includes a link, eventual link to a checkout page. And let's just go to another person's profile here. Okay, it's asking if I want to claim the listing, and in this time it will take me to the join page. So it says choose a plan to join, and I have the 3 plans on my website. Maybe they're only paid options available, but you can have multiple plans for the claim listings. Let's see if I choose this one here. Check out one. So this one is also a free plan that I have, but you can certainly direct them to a paid plan. Another cool thing that you guys can do, and this one is kind of overlooked also, on the profile page, if we scroll down, there is an option for the make a connection or claim listing banner position. So up here in the filter, if you just want to search claim, and under profile page, you have the make a connection claim listing banner position. Personally, for these profiles, if you're going to be having them as claim listing, I think above the profile photo is a better location for this because it stands out at the top of the page. And let's see what that looks like together. Let's go back to this person's profile. So we can see here, it kind of immediately grabs your attention right away. Are you the coaching pair? Claim this listing to receive referrals. So you can choose if you want it kind of in between these tabs here and the profile photo, or certainly at the top of the page. So that's a cool setting that you may want to take advantage of, is the location of the make a connection / claim listing banner position. Now, I know I ran through that pretty quick, David. Did I miss anything? Was there anything else we should mention about that?
I think you covered most of it. I think just to summarize how best to utilize claimable listings, because we got a lot of people who want to immediately jump in, upload thousands of listings and hope that that's kind of their golden ticket. We typically wouldn't recommend doing that and sending out a mass email to all of them, trying to get them to sign up and using that as your only means of trying to get registered members on your site. Instead, you'll probably want to use claimable listings as just another tool in your toolbox as you're growing your directory site, and use it in conjunction with those standard best practices that we mentioned, like manually adding those initial high quality listings first and prioritizing those high value listings on your site first to add that initial value.
Awesome. So what we'd like to do now is pass it over to you guys. We can help you with your site, answer any questions about this tip of the week. All right, our good friend Colette. How you doing, Colette?
All right, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. How are you today? Okay.
How are you doing?
Doing excellent.
Very good, thank you. I've just put on the global keyword search, and I wanted to just find out, I've had a bit of a blonde moment. I just want to change the sidebar that's showing for those results to the right. It's currently on the left.
Okay. Can I visit your site?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
selwindconnect.co.nz.
Okay, great. Just give me a moment here. Okay, so let's look at first the page itself, and then we can identify the sidebar there. So we're doing site search. Okay. So yes, so you have the sidebar here. You want to know where to edit this sidebar? Is that the question?
Yeah, I want to just put it, I've edited the sidebar. I want to move it from left to right.
Move it from left to right. Okay, so that should be under design settings, and under sidebar alignment options, global website search will set that to right. And that should suffice. Let's see if that works. Yep, there it is on the right hand side now.
Perfect. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. All right, great. We see some more hands coming up here. Let's take some more questions. We got our good friend Jeff here. How you doing today?
Good, thanks. Just a question on global search. When I put a search in, we get an auto-suggest menu. When you click on one of the members in that auto-suggest, it doesn't go to that member. It actually puts that search into the global search, and you have to hit the search again.
Yes, so I can help you with that. I can actually show you right here.
MySouthwest.com. All right.
Yeah, it would be the same for everyone. So I'm not going to change anything here, but I'll show you where you can go for that. Under the Developers tab, go to Auto Suggest Settings. And you'll have one when you have the add-on, a global search one. And what you can do is all the suggestions, the post type suggestions and the member suggestions will be in green that are currently enabled. There's an option that says link. Go ahead and set all the links to yes and save your changes. And when you do that, when somebody clicks on the auto suggestion, it will then directly link to that record, to that specific result.
All right, I'll try that. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, good question there. All right, we got our good friend Mark here. How you doing, Mark?
Good. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Where are you calling in from, Mark?
Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, welcome to the webinar. What's your question for us today?
Sure. This has to do with profile images with regards to importing. What do you guys recommend? I'm talking about thousands of listings, but is it a no-no to import like the Google image for that business? I take it, would that be copyrighted, or what? Are there other ways to import profile images?
So a couple things, and let me, I don't know about copyright things like that, but I can tell you if you are uploading a data set of members and you want it to also include the actual image, the profile photo or logo image, that image needs to exist on the internet somewhere. It needs to have an image file name is what it's basically what it's called. So it needs to have an image, a path for that. And if you can see in this picture here, and I'll share this in the chat for everyone, and you can certainly take a look at this link, Mark. In your import file, you just need to put the full URL of where that image exists on the internet, not the page, the URL of the image itself.
Sure.
And then the system will then import your members and also fetch and grab the images with the instructions in this article here.
Okay.
So again, I can't comment on like copyright issues or things like that, but the system does support importing member records with their respective profile photos and logo images.
So those photos, I mean, I just didn't want a situation where you have the profile photo pointing to something elsewhere and not on Brilliant Directories.
When the system fetches the image, it updates the file name and adds it to your database, or sorry, your media manager. So the new extension or file name for that image will be on your URL.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really common. No problem. You're welcome. It's really common for users to import member listings with images. Sometimes those images need to exist on the internet somewhere, and I've seen a lot of people use Dropbox or their Google Drive or even their Brilliant Directories Media Manager. They'll add the images there so they exist, and then they will add them to their import file, and it will reference their own website for fetching the images. But it will, when you import the members, it'll connect the correct images with the import. So good question there, Mark. Thank you. Okay, we have our good friend Brenda here. Brenda, I'm going to unmute your microphone there.
Hi, Jason.
Hey, how's it going, Brenda?
It's going well. What about you?
It's going well here. We're staying busy and doing the best that we can. These webinars help a lot. How'd you like the webinar today?
Yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Okay, great. What's your question for us today?
Is there a way to block an entire URL, a complete total domain name?
From doing what? From
signing up on the site.
So you could certainly put that. Okay. I'm just going to show you where you can go to block a keyword from submitting forms to your site, which would mean the sign up form as well. What you can do is go to your settings and go to general settings, and under integrations here, Brenda, you have a block spam keywords list. And I would always recommend, if you haven't done so, restore recommended block list. But this is a comma separated list, and you can certainly add, the domain of whatever company that is to this list. And if they're if that means that they would have to sign up with like an email address that has that somewhere in the email address. So that could be a first line of defense for that. But if they're not mentioning that domain name, it would be hard to kind of stop a random person. Okay, yeah, then that would be your best approach. There is the domain name. Just put it in your blocked keyword list here. That should work for you for most cases. All right, thank you so much, Brenda.
That's sweet.
All right, good stuff there from Brenda. We'll end it there. It was really great to be with everyone here this week. The next webinar will be in 2 weeks. Number 100, as we mentioned, is going to be on October 14th. Thank you so much, David, for helping us do this deep dive into the claimable business listings. Definitely some best practices we discovered there. New updates coming soon. Look out for the post commenting add-on next 2 to 4 weeks. It should be released. Really excited about that. And if you haven't already done so, please take a moment to join our Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and click on that blue join button. On behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you so much for joining us today. Have an awesome day and a brilliant week. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next webinar. Take care, guys.